Good morning. I'm Teresa Cardenas, a practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living Denver, and I want to welcome you to our live broadcast. We are a loving, expansive, powerful, and prosperous community in the heart of Capitol Hill and here online. Our primary concern is always for the well-being, support, and growth of our community, and we are so grateful that you have chosen to join us today to watch our service. We plan on being here every week on our virtual platform so that we can encourage and uplift each other and stay connected. We will continue to meet online for the coming weeks until we feel safe at our community at the building at Center for Spiritual Living, 789 Sherman Street. In the meantime, please feel free to share ideas in the chat or by emailing us at info@csldenver.org, and we will listen. Know, too, that we are here for you and are so grateful that you have joined us this morning. We will continue to hold each and every one of you in our prayers. We will be having a virtual fellowship via Zoom right after service today. You will need to RSVP by emailing info@csldenver.org if you would like to join us, and we will send you an invitation by email. We would love for you to join us and catch up with each other and have interesting conversations. And in the next couple of weeks, watch for information about either an online book club or an upcoming workshop. It will most likely be scheduled for midweek. And so now we're so pleased to have Susan Clark with us this morning, and she will lead us in our first musical selection.
Thank you, Teresa. It's so nice to be with everybody in our virtual sanctuary. It's a song by Karen Drucker called Breathe. I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let love, I let go, I release, and I know. I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, and I know. No need to push, no need to try, no need to worry, question why, surrender, let go, release, and know. I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let love, I let go, I release, I know. Let it all go.
Thank you, Susan. What a perfect song to move us into our invocation this morning. So I invite you to sit back in your chair, close your eyes, and take a breath in and breathe. That breath is the breath of God, Spirit, Goddess, whatever we choose to call that divine intelligence that lives, moves, and breathes each and every one of us. And so as we move into the service today, knowing that we are absolutely held in that, as each of us is in our own individual sanctuaries, that we are in a collective sanctuary here at CSL Denver, just knowing that we are enveloped in that love and in that light and in that deep knowing of who each and every one of us is. And knowing that this time together is blessed, that everybody who has chosen to watch and be involved in this service today, knowing that we are each and every one of us blessed. And Reverend Elzia's spoken words this morning will be so truly blessed, and that we will all leave with something to take into our hearts and know the truth of who we are. And so we bless Susan's music, we bless Teresa's announcements, we bless Reverend Elzia's talk, we bless Reverend Robert Brzezinski for his help in serving us during these services, and we bless everyone who has chosen to be with us this morning. And from that place of deep, deep gratitude, I release this into that one mind, that one heart, knowing that all is well, and it is so, and so it is. And so now we move into our reading this morning. And it's so appropriate from the musician Natasha Bedingfield. She has written a song called Unwritten. And I would invite you to look for the lyrics. I will be speaking some of them this morning. I'm just beginning. The pen's in my hand. I am unwritten. Can't read my mind. I'm undefined. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. The rest is still unwritten, ending unplanned. And from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, such beautiful words from this thing called you. You, like all others, are seeking the joy of living. You wish to be needed, to be loved, to be included in the great drama of life. This urge is in every individual. It is in everything. In some ways which you know not of, through some process which never reveals its face, life has entered into you, and with the irresistible impulse to create or perish is the eternal mandate of nature. You cannot escape the conclusion that whatever this thing is, which is seeking expression through everything, it can find satisfactory outlet only through constructive and life-giving creativeness. And so it is. And now back to Susan.
And yes, thank you so much to Karen Drucker for letting us use her music online. This is called This or Something Better. This or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I'm gonna go and control. I'm gonna get out of my way. I know the universe conspires to bring me heaven here today. And this or something better is waiting for me. I know that this or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I'm tired of playing it small. Doing what I think I should. The universe stands up to meet me, to claim my highest form of good. And I know that this something better is waiting for me. I know that this something better is the key that set my heart free. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. Yes, I do. I'm gonna say yes to my dreams. Let my imagination soar. I know that I have gifts that I must use. That is why I was put here for. And I know that this or something better is waiting for. Are you singing along? This or something better is the key that will set my heart free. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. Try that. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. I know it, I claim it, I have it right now. What you gonna do? What you gonna be? What you gonna see? What you gonna do? What you gonna be? What you gonna see? What you gonna do? What you gonna be? What you gonna see? What you gonna do right now?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you so much. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a breath right here. Welcome, everyone, to CSL Denver. A space, and a face of love. We are a spiritual community applying universal principles to enhance our lives and the lives of others. This week, we continue on Bright Beginnings theme, following up from last week on Broken Open. This week, we look at Unwritten, the process of rewriting or writing, in some cases, our lives. Now, throughout history, the art of storytelling has been a work of art, a masterful work that allowed us to keep ourselves in line with the divine. Now, there have been tragedies and dramas and divine comedies and stories of triumph and success, all providing insight into this thing called life. Now, Maya Angelou said this: there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. An untold story inside you. And so now, in this new world beginning, if you will, after we have taken time out and we've opened ourselves up and we are now contemplating a new world, a new beginning, what are you being called to do? What are you being called to write? Because at this point in time, it's all unwritten. We're starting new. Now, the big question now is, how do we start? How do we do that? How do we come up with this new beginning? Well, as they always say, the blessed and best place to start is at the beginning. And we know that in the beginning, God created us and made us in its own image and likeness. Therefore, we are the essence of the design, and we are stepping into a brave new world. A world of infinite possibilities, a world that allows us to create from a palette that has many colors and many fonts and many expressions of who and what we are. That realm is called the realm of the creative process. The realm of the creative process. Now, we know in this current age of quantum physics that underlining everything that we do, everything that we say and know, sits on the base of two principles. The first principle is the principle of the quantum field. And alongside that quantum field is also the idea of non-locality. The quantum field and non-locality. Now, what does that mean? Well, the quantum field means that the whole universe is made of photonic light that is always connected. Always connected. And that leads into this idea of non-locality, because this theorem tells us that once two photons of light, once two pieces of energy, once two individual bodies have been correlated, no matter where they are in the world, they will always be able to communicate instantaneously. Now, what does that have to do with rewriting or taking this blank canvas and writing our story? Two things. Number one, if we're all connected and there's no separation, we have an infinite supply of words, ideas, thoughts, images to recreate ourselves, to actually trust the words that have been written that say we are created and made in the image of God, and that we have infinite power to create as we will. To create as we will. Now, there's a movie that came out a while ago. Some of you may have seen it, called What the Bleep? Or What the Bleep Do We Know? And if you've seen that movie, you may remember this part. And if you have not seen it, during this time, I would advise you, it would be a great thing to go and catch. There's a scene where a young man is on a basketball court, and he's explaining to the lady who's walking by about playing the game and so forth and so on. And he throws her the ball and tells her to take a shot at it. And she's trying to shoot while she's off the court. And right at that moment she gets ready to shoot, he interrupts and says, "Oh, no. To play the game, you have to play on the court. You have to step into the game of play." And that's what we are being asked to do now, to rewrite this unwritten story. We have to be in the game. We have to be on the playing field. There's no more opportunities or no more time to sit on the sideline. So now that we have taken that bold step and stepped onto the playing field, the first thing that I would advise you is to seek wise counsel. And so I did that. I was going to write my book, and so I went to seek wise counsel, and I asked a few authors that I know, what does it take to write a best-selling novel or autobiography? Which is what we are each engaged in right now. We're rewriting a best-selling novel or autobiography. And they came up with three things. They said, number one, start with a big idea and do not regurgitate. Start with the big idea and do not regurgitate. Now, at the core of that means you got to be yourself, because you are unique and you are a big enough story that you will command an audience. And when you step into that idea, the characters and the settings and the plots that you are intending to play out as you represent God on earth will begin to unfold. And so at that moment, we just have to take that deep breath and relax and release into that idea. The second thing, which should be an easy task, is to tell a compelling story. Tell a compelling story. Now, since each one of us on the planet is looking through our own eyes, we each have our own unique perspective of whatever is going on. And so by doing just that, by living our unique lives and acting out from that place, the story can be nothing else but compelling, because it's our purview and no one can see the world the same way that you do or that I do. Because God has given us a divine mission that can only be seen through our eyes and then be relayed or written in our book so that others can see it and have that perspective and be able to relate to it from some experience or some story within their own lives. So we have to tell a compelling story. And now, once we have that all in hand and we know the characters and we have the plot and we have that adventure part of the story that allows us to overcome and to triumph and to rejoice in our victories, then we have to settle down and step into the hard part. You just have to do it. You just start. You just start writing. And the good thing about it is a co-authorship. We are in co-creation with the divine. Now, there's a law called the law of co-creation that I'd like to share with you. And I have some of the excerpts here. It says, in order to become co-creating partners with the divine, we must cooperate with and comply with the laws of the universe. Evolution has brought us to the point of self-expression, and it can do no more for us until we consciously cooperate with it. Nature obeys us as we first obey it. We declare what it is that we truly want, and the universe provides the means of accomplishing. We command our circumstances when we are in compliance with these principles that govern them. That is the key. We are in co-creation with the divine. So as we sit down to write this unwritten book, our life story, our greatest novel, we can just close our eyes, take a breath, and move into that meditative state and allow the divine spirit to move through us as we go out each and every day, joyously, making friends, resolving issues, standing on a firm belief that God, there's nothing you and I today cannot conquer. There's a saying on my wall, and you probably can't see it, but it says, until further notice, celebrate everything. Until further notice, celebrate everything. And that's what we are being called to do as we rewrite this unwritten story of our new lives, of our new beginning. Celebrate everything. Tell that unique perspective within your story. Now, what are we being asked to release here to do this? Because to do this, we have to give up some old habits. We have to give up some old ideas of unworthiness and fear and doubt and all those things that, as we all heard about, that creates writer's block or that writer's cramp. We don't want to suffer from any of that. We want to have a life that is flowing. And so we start by stepping into that breath. So as we begin to rewrite our story, there are three things I want you to know as you begin to write now. The first thing is you have to incubate. And if you look at this script slide that's coming on the screen right now, it's start. What are you waiting for? And to do that, we have to incubate. The first thing we need to do is we need to incubate. That's the process of imagining. And we have plenty of time to do that now while we're at stay at home. So while we are in our respective places of sacred worship now, which we'll call our homes, take time to incubate and to be introspective and to look into your mind's eye and imagine what it is that you want to do once we move into a new normal of life. How do you want to contribute? How do you want people to see you applying these principles of the divine to your life and the lives of others? The second thing is illumination. What are you going to do to illuminate all of the content and all of the brilliant ideas that have been blessed with, that you've been blessed with during this time? How will you connect the dots? How will you make things happen? How will you activate these ideas? Because once we've incubated, illuminated, and activated the divine story of our lives, that page should almost start writing itself. Your story should jump on the pages. And so, as we begin this week and we move into a time of writing our new story, to telling a compelling vision of our lives, I'd like to leave you with this affirmation. And if you won't mind, I'd like you to repeat it with me. Today, I write the unwritten chapters of my life freely from the past and author the life I desire to live. Free from any past mistakes, any past regrets, anything that causes you to have writer's block. So we want to be able to step into this new time free, open, blank pages, ready to be written from the divine mind of God. Let us pray. Dear divine mind, Mother, Father, God, that creative author that has created all that we see, all that we know, and all that is unseen and yet to be written. That divine mind that has created oceans and trees as pens to tell the story of our lives, to allow us to peer into the excellence of the mind of God and wonder, what can I be? How shall I tell this story? Because we know as we look through the annals of time and we see those giants of science and art and literature that have created stories and things of beauty that have left their indelible mark for times upon times, I ask myself, and I ask you as well, how do I allow God to manifest through me to do the same, to create my own unique expression? And the way to do that is to allow God to come into our lives, to be co-creators with us, to create a world that all things are inspirational, all things are a plot or a chapter in our story of life to bring us closer to the manifestation of who it is we are on earth. And so it is in that unfolding story, it is in that creative idea that I just take a breath. I take this breath, allowing the flow and the Spirit of God to move through me, and give thanks for that. Give thanks for this breath. Give thanks for this creative expression called life, knowing that we are here by divine appointment and we are ready, willing, and able to write the story. And so it is in that telling, it is in that writing, it is in that expression of the divine story called you that I release this prayer, knowing that God has taken it, wrapped it, and placed it in love, knowing that it will unfold in due time in grand fashion. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you. We are so grateful for everyone's support of CSL Denver, whether it's in time, treasure, or talent, and especially during this time of change. Whether this is your first time joining us or you are a returning community participant, we want to thank you for your continuing financial support of the important work we are striving to provide. Right now, there are many ways you can support Center for Spiritual Living Denver with contributions. With a credit card, you can use your cell phone or device to send a text, and you can text to 844-454-0918, and then type the word give, all in capital letters, and the dollar amount you would like to offer. For example, if you would like to give $5, you would text give and the number 5. As always, you can also go to our website, www.csldenver.org. There will be a donate button in the lower right corner. If you would prefer to mail an offering, you can mail it to CSL Denver, P.O. Box 300416, Denver, Colorado 80203. And we are now set up with King Soopers and with Amazon Smile, where many of us shop. Simply link your account to Central for Spiritual Living Denver, and when you conduct your normal shopping, a percentage of all proceeds will come to our center. Email us if you would like more information on this option. Finally, we are so blessed to have you as a member of our community. Know that showing up and being with us in spirit and body provides us so much gift, and so much that this too fills our hearts, our souls, and the center as we join in community as one. So now please just keep your offering in mind and in your heart, and repeat with me our usual affirmation. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive. And again, we are so pleased and gifted to hear from Susan.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Elzia. So I'm going to do a song that I wrote, and it kind of fits in with what Elzia was saying about stepping into the blank pages to write our story. The first line of this song is Step into the Sunlight of Your Soul, and that is the name of the song. Step into the sunlight of your soul. It is there where you will find that you are perfect, complete, and whole. Eliminate all those good sounds of doubt. Feel the things that bring you joy. Never doubt the power of your prayer. Don't give up until your dreams are standing there. You can change your life. You can make things right when you step into the oneness with your God. You can do anything beyond your small. Step into the mystery of belief, where you can manifest anything you can conceive. The world is there just waiting for your command. Take a leap of faith and believe you can. You can change your life. You can make things right when you step into the oneness with your God. You can't hear anything, yeah. Can be anyone. You can write whatever story you want. Those unwritten pages are all waiting for you. Step into the sunlight. Oh, your soul.
Thank you so much, Susan. And thank you everyone for joining us this week. We hope you've given you some words of wisdom and to help you make it through the week. And so we just want to close once again and bring up the idea of within the next week, we will be even having a class or a book club starting midweek. So we'd love for you to join us. It's a time for us to get together and share ideas and explore these ideas of conscious living and how to unfold and rewrite the story of our lives. So once again, have a great week. We at CSL Denver love you. And if you have any questions or you would like any prayer support, please reach out to us at info@csldenver.org and we will reach back out to you. And have a great and lovely week. And so it is. Amen.
All right. I'm going to take us out with a little God is my source. Stand up if you feel like it. And let's raise the roof a little bit. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. You know, the great thing about these virtual services, you can act as goofy as you want. You can do anything you want. Because nobody's watching. So here we go. Joy is my source. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Give me everything. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Give me everything. Are you saying?
Yes.
This is my source. This is my power. This gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Gives me everything I need. Back to God. God is my source. There's no power in man that gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Once, God gives me everything. Oh, sing it one more time. God gives me every single thing that I need. Even before I know what it is I need, I get it. I need you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. And remember, join us for coffee and fellowship after the service. Go on to Zoom, go to your Zoom invite. And if you haven't gotten the invite yet, go to info@csldenver.org and ask for an invite. Love you all. Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.